Hello, I'm Steffen Foullon, and what I will show you now is how to properly field dress a wild boar. So what we did now, we were looking for something where we can lean the boar against to. Then I put it on the back and I step with my toe, with my foot, on the other foot of the boar. Like this, you get a tension between those hind legs. And what I do now is take the knife and I try to open this area here now, but you have to be really careful because you don't want to cut the intestines. It stings like hell and not really good for the meat quality. So you open it up like this, the stomach area basically, and now you have here the fat. And now really gently cut your way, but you have to be really careful not to hurt the intestines. So there's a very here, there it is. So there's a very thin skin, and now I opened up and now I go inside with my fingers and protect the intestines. And I try to focus on the middle here and cut down to this middle. Then I do the same going up. Try to open the skin without damaging the intestines. Most important thing in the first step. Cut your way all the way up here. Get this a little bit to the side. In with your hands and open it up. Now you come to the chest cavity. This here is the chest cavity. I make a clean cut like this, and now I fill it here. And what I do now is I step away from the hind legs, go to here and get the knife in. Behind here is the heart and the lungs, and now I want to open this rib cage basically. So I cut through the rib cage. Yep, that's open, and cut to this jawbone basically. And then I slice this up, and I'm looking for this tube, basically the feeding tube, right? And I cut this away because I need to grab this and open it up, but we'll leave this for later. So rib cage is open now. And now, very important part, I want to get all this stuff out of the way. Looks brutal, but basically it's all about the meat now. And if I put my finger inside here, I need to find the middle between those two legs. And you feel the middle here, there's a little notch, a bone that actually grows together. So what I do, right where this notch is, I cut down and open the boar up right between the legs. So now the legs are open, and now we need to go through this bone. So usually I'm taking a saw, but if I don't have a saw, I can show you a trick how to do it with the knife. So I put it on the side now, and now we need to open this bone. And so like I said, usually I take a saw, but I don't have a saw right now. So what you do is you take the knife in this hand. Be really careful not to stab your own leg, because you will go in like this and then try to push the bone open. That usually works pretty good. Get all the meat out of the way, and be aware, here's the bladder. Don't try to cut the bladder. So go in here like this, and then And now we opened up the hip area, and now we can drag everything out. So what we do now, basically, hips are open. Now we take everything off from this side, and what we need to do now is cut the tube free so we can get our hands on it, and then I do a cut from here, from both sides basically, and now I can have it in my hand. Now the tongue is still connected. I loose the tongue like this from the left and to the right and get the tongue out. Here's the tongue. Yep, like this. Here's the feeding tube, and now cut down with the feeding tube. Now you have it here. Now that's why we opened up the rib cage, because now we need to drag it through here. Cut this a little bit open. This is actually the area where the heart is. Cut the heart out. Leave this as a side. And now something very important. We have this skin here, and in Germany we need to keep some of that skin. It's called trichinosa, and this muscle tissue here, if the boar is sick of trichinosa, the trichinosa are inside the muscle tissue, so we need to keep some of this, and we have to be careful not to hurt the intestines. So try to open the skin now from the left, from the right. Leave something there, and now I take my hand inside and try to grab in between here, basically behind the lung, and now I drag everything out. Very good. So this is basically what's left of the intestines. Try to get rid of this and not to touch the meat. Yep, perfect. So now we opened up the wild boar. These are the tenderloins, and as you see, there's no blood right here. So clean opening. What I do now is I grab the hind legs and lift the boar up like this to make all the blood go out through the mouth, so I don't have it on my rear legs and on the tenderloins. And that's how you field dress a wild boar. What I would recommend, check the liver and check the lungs if the animal was wealthy. What you see here, this is regular lung tissue, looks like that, and this is actually bullet impact. So huge trauma from the bullet. We shot the Norma Oryx chambered, or caliber was 30-06. So this is the lung, and this is the liver. What's a lot of people like the liver, so I'll cut it out, and what you have to do now is remove this here. There's a trick of how to remove this, because if this gets onto the meat, then the whole liver is basically for the trash can. 2 cuts to the left and to the right like this, and now you grab this tender thing here like that, cut it open like this, and now you can pull this off like that. And now you have a great piece of liver. Get this off here. Yep. And if it's snowy like here, you can use the snow to clean your hands. And this is how you properly field dress a wild boar. On some driven hunts here in Germany, it's mandatory actually. The landowner asks you to field dress the game and then get it onto the next road, so it will be picked up. On other driven hunts, the landowner asks you not to open the game. So hope you learned something today and you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more content, guys.